So we are left with three classes under the phylum Chordata, that is Reptilia, Aves and Mammals. So let us finish these three classes today. Let me start with Reptilia. So class Reptilia. Okay. So this name is derived from the Latin word associated with creeping or crawling. Okay, so this class includes all the creeping or crawling animals. Let me tell their general characteristics. They are mostly terrestrial, but some of them move to water for reproduction. Okay, body is covered with dry skin and cornified epidermal scales or scutes. Okay, so you can see that in crocodile there is no scales, so they have the scutes. Okay, then next, they don't have external ear. Okay, and so there is no external ear opening, even no external ear and external ear opening too. And the tympanum or the tympanic membrane represents the ear. Okay, now in some cases limbs are not there, like snakes. All snakes there is no limbs, but wherever there is limbs, there are two pairs of limbs in those cases. Okay, limbs when present are generally two pairs. But even though they are having the limbs, they are they walk, they very they walk by creeping or crawling. Very less use of limbs are there. Okay, now come to the other features. Heart is usually three chambered, except crocodile, where it is four chambered. Okay, and they are poikilothermic animals. Means they are cold blooded, and cold blooded, the amphibians were also cold blooded animals because their body temperature changes with that of the environment. Okay, such animals are known as poikilothermic animals. And to overcome the problem, they or the to avoid the high or low temperature, they undergo estivation, that is summer sleep, and winter sleep, that is hibernation. So poikilothermic animals, they undergo estivation and hibernation. So hibernation, it is winter sleep. So during winter, when the temperature is very low in the environment, they undergo hibernation. Okay, and during summer, where the temperature is very high, they undergo estivation. So it is known as summer sleep. Okay, which is not found in the homeothermic animals like us. Okay, that we'll discuss in apes and mammals. Now, the snakes and lizards shed their scales as a skin cast. As a skin cast. Okay, so we all have seen that the snakes leave their scales at a certain interval. Okay, then now come to reproduction. Sexes are separate. Oviparous. Development is direct. Okay, now come to some examples of reptilia. The examples are chelon, that is turtle, testudo, that is tortoise, chameleon, that is tree lizard. Okay, calotes, garden lizard. Okay, and crocodilus. That is crocodile, alligator, then hemidactylus, so hemidactylus, they are commonly known as wall lizards. Okay, now I'll give you some examples of poisonous snakes. So the poisonous snakes includes your naja, commonly we call them cobra, bangaras, that is crate, vipera, that is viper. Okay, so these are the very common poisonous snakes. So what is the key identification of reptilia? Dry cornified skin. Let me write down. Dry cornified, sorry, spelling गलत लिख दिया, cornified skin plus internal fertilization and three chambered heart. So this is the unique feature of reptilia, but here exception is that in three chambered heart. Okay, now next come to the class apes. The next class is apes. The apes includes the birds. It includes the birds. Now come to the characteristics. Body covered with feather. And most of the bird can fly. most birds can fly. Okay, and some birds are flightless. For example, ostrich. Okay, and they have a beak. So now I'm discussing the unique features. Four limbs are modified into wing. Okay, four limbs are modified into wings. Now the hind limbs are adapted for walking, swimming, and clasping branches. Clasping branches means to hold the branch firmly. They can hold the branch firmly. That is known as perching. Okay. Now skin is dry and skin lacks glands except the oil glands. Very very important, children. Oil gland at the base of the tail. Okay, and endoskeleton is completely ossified. It is made up of bone. Endoskeleton is completely ossified, means bony. Okay, now the long bone means the limb bones. The long bones are generally hollow and pneumatic. Okay, hollow means, pneumatic means the pores are there in the bone because of which the body becomes light. The bones are lightweight. Okay, now digestive tract contains additional chambers that is crop and gizzard. Okay, so crop is to store the food and gizzard is to grind the food, because they don't have teeth, so the food is grounded in the gizzard. Grind or churn, sorry, churn the food. Okay, now come to heart is four chambered and they are warm blooded, or the other term is homeothermos, means body temperature remains constant Okay, like our body temperature is always 37 degrees Celsius. Whether you go to, whether it may be your sunny days, very scorching sun is there, very cold is there. So in all situations our body temperature remains constant, but when we get fever, that is the different situation. But a normal healthy person is having 37 degrees Celsius temperature all the time. Okay, respiration through lungs. Okay, now AR6 are there, connected with lungs to supplement respiration. Okay, now come to this reproductive system. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. Internal. Okay, they are oviparous, and development is direct. Okay, now so these are the characters of apes or birds. But here one very important question comes in your exam. Write the flying adaptation in the bird. So let me tick or underline the flying adaptation in the birds. That is presence of air sacs connected with the lungs. This one. The next is your next character is long bones, generally hollow and pneumatic. Okay. Then forelimb is modified into wings, and hind limbs. So these three are the most important flying adaptations, and other than that you can add this the hind limbs are adapted for walking, swimming, and clasping the branches. Okay, so this is all about the birds. Now let me give you some examples. Examples, that is corvus, crow, columba, pigeon, then Siticula, that is parrot, Struthio, ostrich, pavo, peacock. Okay, actinodites, penguin. So remember children, very often we confuse that penguins are the mammals. Penguins are not mammals, they are birds. Very, very important. Penguins. Then nephron, neophron, that is vulture. Okay, so this much only, but you remember this one, aptenoids, that is the penguins are the birds, they are not mammals. So what are the identifying features of aves? They have feathers, wings, beak, four chambered heart, and warm blooded animals. Now come to the class Mammalia. Okay, so mammals are cosmopolitan. They are cosmopolitan. Cosmopolitan means found in all types of habitat. Okay, and so this may be your polar region, desert, mountain, forests, grasslands, caves, aquatic environments. Okay, and some mammals are adapted for flying. So can you give me the example? Bat. Okay, that is bat for example, and some for aquatic life. Life, for example, whale. So whale is not a fish, it is a mammal. Now come to the characteristics. The most unique feature is presence of mammary gland. Okay, and this mammary gland produces milk to nourish the young ones. Okay, and they have two pairs of limbs, and limbs may be modified for walking, running, climbing, burrowing, swimming, flying. Then next come to the skin. Skin possesses hairs or furs. Okay, and external ear or pinna. This is the only class where external ears or pinna are present, and we are the very good example. And they have different types of teeth are there. Teeth present in jaw. Okay, and usually there are four types of teeth: incisor, canine, molar, and premolar, and they perform different function. Okay, now heart is four chambered. They are one blooded or homeothermos. Okay, and respiration through lungs. It is through lungs. Sexes are separate. Fertilization internal. Okay, and most are viviparous. Most are mostly viviparous. Few are oviparous. For example, duckbill platypus and spiny anteater. So these are the animals who give who lays eggs. So now come to some viviparous mammals. Macropus, kangaroo, just a minute, kangaroo, then pteropus, flying fox, camelos, camel, macaca, that is monkey, ratus, rat, canis, dog, felis, cat. So many are there, so I'm not giving all of them. So what are the unique features or identifying features of mammals? Presence of mammary glands, hairs, external ears, four chamber heart, and warm blooded. Okay, so with this, your the chapter animal kingdom is over. So please go through the chapter and get ready for the homework, and I'll be back with the important questions. Okay, till then, bye bye. Thank you.